Alright, what's up guys? So, I don't know how it's gonna be on a Saturday afternoon, how many people are gonna watch this, but what I wanna do is I wanna share basically the main problem that people have when they try to learn Forex or any trading. Like, I see this coming all the time. Cool. So, I see that problem coming up like all the time basically. And it's the fact that like there's so many things to learn in trading, right? There's not only one thing. Like a lot of people focus on learning only one thing. It's like they're gonna see price action. Then they're gonna learn just that, all the patterns, all the candlestick names, all that stuff. So that's one part. But I think where like the place where most courses don't work and don't really give the result is because of the fact that there's so many things to learn. Right? There's not only price action. Price action is like one thing, but there's a lot more things to learn. So people often have to, and it's unfortunate, but people focus on one thing. Like they're gonna hear somewhere that price action is the answer. Or so let's say they're gonna start with indicators. They're gonna look at indicators. They're gonna trade with that, and then they're gonna hear that price action is like the key. They're gonna move to price action. Then they're gonna do everything they have to do to learn candlestick patterns, and then they're gonna learn every candlestick pattern. But when it comes time to applying that, it's gonna be really tough to apply because you cannot use only one thing. You have to use many things. And I don't want to put this as complicated because it's really simple. The process you follow when you trade is really simple. The problem is going to be in the execution, of course. But what I want to do in this video is I want to share a little bit the framework I have and like the different things you have to think about when you trade, different things you have to look for when you trade. Now, there's not, as I said, only a few things. Like it's like basically five things, or yeah, five. So I want to share them with you because like I see so many people focusing on one, and they're just gonna stick to that same one all the time. So I want to share the framework I use, the five things you have to look for. Like it's not only focusing on indicators or only price action or only support resistance. Like that's all good, but you have to know how to put everything together, because so many people try to like master one thing, but they kind of forget that they cannot use only that to trade, right? You cannot only use price action. You cannot only use indicators. You cannot only use support resistance to trade. I'm just gonna remove that thing. Cool. So you have to use different thing at the same time. So I want to show the framework right now. The first thing I'm gonna look for whenever I trade. Okay, this is the basic stuff. But the first thing is gonna be what I call the market phase. Now this is not, I say I call, but this is not me. This is Stein Winstein, and he basically calls it the market phase. The market phase is basically what what is happening in the market, right? It's the overall market. Now I have a full lesson about this, but to give it really simple, okay, market phase is going to be whether the market is in a trend, whether it's sideways, and whether it's kind of moving between a small range or a big range. So you want to know this at first. This is first thing you're going to look for before price action, before like anything. And well, before that, you can look at the news. Of course, you don't want to trade with the news, but market phase is really the important part, like the first basis in trading. So once you know the phase, so let's say the market is in a sideways range, so it's ranging. So that's good. Second thing you want to know is what are the support and resistance. Are they like where are they in the chart? You have to identify them. So a lot of people are gonna get into trading just looking at the support resistance, and they're not gonna do anything afterward. Like that's the only thing they're gonna do. But you want to identify the support resistance with the market phase. If it's in if it's sideways, basically, if the market is moving like up and down, then your support resistance are gonna be horizontal. Usually, they're gonna be like straight line like this, and like below, so like a low and then a high. That's gonna be it. Now, if the market phase is more like a trend, then you don't have to draw those lines necessarily. You're probably gonna draw trend lines, so it's gonna be upward or downward, right? So this is the second thing. Second part, support resistance, either trend lines or or the other thing could be basically horizontal line. So that's it. So you have market phase, support resistance. The next the next part is going to be price action. So how is the price behaving? And a lot of people here are going to think that price action is only candlestick patterns. They're going to say, well, okay, this is engulfing. Okay, this is a pin bar. This is a hammer, like whatever they say. But it's not only about candlestick. candlestick patterns like don't mean anything unless you read them correctly. So you can look at a chart and you can try to identify what you see, and like you're gonna get a better picture than looking at just one candlestick pattern. Because looking at one candlestick pattern only gives you like what happened in the past candle, but you want to know what's happening overall. So for example, are they big candlesticks? Are they small candlesticks? Is price moving quickly? Is price pushing through support, resistance? How is price behaving? Is it like, is it a downtrend basically like this, or is it a downtrend like this? Okay, this is going to be different. This is going to be totally different. This is going to give you the price action picture, not the candlestick pattern. Candlestick patterns are going to tell you what happened like in the past 2 days, for example, or 2 hours, or like 8 hours, whatever time frame you trade. But really, it's going to be about reading the chart, looking at what happened in the past a little bit, and structure is part of it. So if you always have higher highs, then it's a sign that this is going to continue overall. But if you have like lower, if you have like huge candlestick going down, like big candlestick, big bodies, I mean, then this is going to be like a downtrend. But if you have big wicks, then you might start to think that, okay, this is like something's happening here. There's buyers and there's sellers. So that's what you want to look for. And then candlestick patterns are going to tell you like some sort of an entry. So if you have a big engulfing pattern, then that's a good entry, right, to buy or to sell. But it's not the only thing. It's not the only thing you have to look for. So now we've covered basically market phase, support resistance, candlestick price action. Then the fourth thing is going to be really confirmation. So the goal of all this process is always to get confluence. Okay, if you don't have if you don't have confluence, you don't have a trade. That's how I see it. So you want to make sure that the last thing is going to be indicators, because you just want to have more confirmation. Now, a couple of people are going to use different indicators. I have my own favorite indicators. They're not complicated. They're just basic indicators. But if you want to confirm with that, the goal here is going to be not to use only that to trade, right? So if the RSI is above 70, you don't want to sell straight away. That would be like a poor thing to do. You want to make sure that you combine this with the previous steps. Nice. With the previous steps. So market phase, support resistance, price action. Then the indicator. If all that is confirming, then you have a good trade, hopefully. Now this doesn't mean that your trade is going to be winning. Could be a losing trade. Can always be a losing trade, in fact. But you want to make sure that you have the most together, and this is going to give you a good trade. Now if one is if one is in a certain way and the other is like in the opposite direction, then your trade is not valid, basically. So I'm just going to take an example, and I have to go afterward. There's still the weekend here, so I still want to do something. But basically, let's say you're in a trend. Okay, that's market phase, uptrend, for example. That's good. Second thing, let's say that you see, I'm just thinking, let's say, okay, so you have your trend line. You see that price is going down to the trend line. Okay, so this is the second thing. So you have two indications. Third thing, you see a big hammer, for example. Third thing, so you have three things aligning. Then the fourth thing, the indicator, you're going to see that the moving average is like that price is bouncing off a moving average. Price is bounced off a moving average. That's your fourth thing. So you have everything aligned right now. The market phase, uptrend, the trend line. So this is like the lowest point, and then you have the price action, and then you have the indicator, the moving average. The basic mistake here that people are gonna make is they're gonna use the wrong indicator at the wrong time. That means they're gonna like use a moving average when it's sideways, or they're gonna use the RSI when it's in a trend. That doesn't work at all. RSI is made for sideways. Moving average is made for trends and trends only. So you want to make sure that you have the right indicator at the right time. Some indicators are going to work fine on different market phase. So personally, Bollinger Band I know works fine in different phases. You just have to use it a little bit differently. But that's the basic thing. So that's the process I follow: market phase, support resistance, price action, indicator. Okay, this is the process. This is like the key behind all my trading. Now, whatever strategy I do, whether that's multi-time frame, it's going to be based on this. But everything is really related to this. So now you know how to use it. Now you know. Now you can apply this yourself. The last thing I want to leave you with is that I just opened the academy recently. The DesireToTRADE Academy. Now this is going to be for people who really want to learn, and it's basically going to be a monthly membership. So you can join. You can leave anytime. But you can learn everything I'm doing. So every strategy I'm doing, all the stuff that I do, all the stuff I look for. So if you want to know how to identify the market phase, how to look at price action, how to look at support resistance correctly, because people make mistakes sometimes, how to use the right indicator at the right time, this is all going to be in the academy, basically. So all that stuff is what I teach. So if you want to join today, I'll probably put the link below or above the video, whatever. It's basically $1 for 14 days. You can check check in, go in, see if it works for you, see if you like it, and then after that you can join for the monthly membership. But the goal is really to help here, really to give you some advice, really to show you how that works. Because I think a lot of courses don't do the job of showing you how to put everything together. They're gonna show you like how one thing works, but when you want to apply everything together, it's going to be tougher. So the goal here is really to put everything together, show you step by step in videos how that works. So if you want to check this out, go on DesireToTRADE.com/join-academy. You're going to be able to join the academy. I'm going to put a link below to make sure that you can follow the link. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm always there. In the Facebook group a lot. I post a lot of stuff there, a lot of good stuff, articles and everything, which doesn't come always on the page. But if you want to in the Facebook group, check it out also. There's probably a link on the page somewhere. So you can check this out, you can join this. And I look forward to see you either give you a nice podcast, either a nice article soon, or answer your question. So enjoy the weekend. Take some time in family, take some time with friends. That's what I'm going to do now. I'm probably going to work a little bit soon, like a little bit on my stuff. Still have a couple of podcasts to edit, a couple of things to do. But anyway, I'm going to see you soon.